All right, that's a few minutes. Let's do a sound test with my mic. So, testing, testing. One, two, three. Hey, Gravy! If you could let me know if you hear just my voice just fine. If it's too loud, let me see here. It probably might be too loud. All right. All right, how's my voice now? Oh, nice. All right. So, I fixed the echo problem, and so this is going to be the first stream. So it's literally ask me anything. I don't expect a lot of people because everyone's so shy out there. But literally, it doesn't have to be relationship problems. It could just be, hey, let me know how it's going. If everything's going great, that's great. But I'm just letting everyone know I'm here for you. All right, is it a bit loud now? I'll turn it down. How about now? Down about 25%. Thank you so much, Gravy, for confirming this. Okay. I can even lower it a little bit more. But just wanted to make sure. It's been a few years since I've been on and off YouTube with different channels. My last one was 2K subscribers, but it was a truth channel, so nobody was really ready for that. So I pulled the plug because I wanted to focus on my book and my movie. And I had to pull the plug on that channel because otherwise I wouldn't be able to concentrate. And here I am with a brand new channel, with a brand new focus. Truth topics these days are very controversial, so you won't really get too far depending on what you say and what you believe in. So these days I focus around people's relationships and try my best to stay out of so-called conspiracy theories. Trust me, it's a headache. But my number one passion is helping people with any type of relationship issue, any type of life challenge. I'm a new life coach. It's my new profession. So from college to the U.S. Army and now to life coach. Author, of course, and movie maker. So we got Gravy. Thank you so much for stopping by, and anyone else who stops by. I guess I'll show what. I guess I'll describe what's on the screen here. Love requires perfection. That's the subtitle of my book, Perfect Soulmates. However, what a better title! Well, it's just the best title for my movie, because that's what it's all about. The movie is different from the book. The book is like my Bible, if you will, on love, or the book of love, the new book of love. That's what I like to say to stay out of the religious thing. So, the new book of love, I'm 100% confident that everybody will like it. Only some might not like the lighter parts of the book because I do have to talk about intimacy. So, take it or leave it. You don't have to read it. But it's a reward for those who read that far. It's very easy to read. And my movie is very easy to watch. It's just 10 small videos adding up to an hour total. And I believe it's the most beautiful movie I've ever created and the most beautiful book. I don't think I could do the book over again if you asked me to. That's how great the book is. It's just magic captured in 270 something pages, but big font, so it's very easy to read. I took everybody into consideration. Those with attention deficit disorder, try to keep you hooked. And yeah, my soulmate and I, and it's not because it's my book, we just couldn't put the book down. That's how good it is. And even to this day, if I flip to any part of my book, I have to stop myself from reading it. It never gets old. And anyways, my movie as well. I just love all 10 mini videos that add up to 1 hour of what I call my movie. And you have to understand that as a film producer, you can't just post this stuff on Netflix. They're not accepting anything. They ask you, you don't ask them. And there's no other sites, no aggregators that accept. You'd have to pay a hefty sum of money just to produce your movie on any website out there. So I chose an online course website, thinkific.com, to host my movie. And it's beautiful because, you do have to click through the 10 movies, but all you have to do is just expand, the screen to full screen and enjoy. Each video is about maybe 4 to 5 minutes long, but trust me, they're the longest minutes, but in a comfortable way, satisfying way. You won't even pay attention to time when you start watching. And the reason why I'm selling this movie and I'm not just slapping it on my YouTube channel is because I've done this before. I've given away hours and hours of my work in previous channels for free, pro bono, if you will. And this time, it's I do want to make a living. So these are my products, and they're at the lowest prices possible. And I have a video on that I just made recently. I think it's called An Author and Movie Maker's Life. And I go over the costs because you have to remember, selling a book and selling a movie, they have to take their cut, the websites that host your products. So this is different from people selling merch, like buy my mugs, buy my pillows. There's nothing wrong with that, but this is intuition, wisdom, knowledge, experience wrapped up in a big bow as a gift to everybody out there. When you look at a $5 book out there, most of them are compilations. They just gather information and slap them into a book and say, ta-da! And they have a team of producers and publishers. I'm just an army of one. And this is all me. This is unique, original art. This is poetry. And this is wisdom above all. Useful wisdom. Something that you can use in your life to perfect your life. I believe in perfection because everyone has an idea of what's perfect for them. That's proof that perfection exists. In fact, one of the small videos in this movie, of the 10 videos that make the movie, the title is Perfection. So it's not debatable because there's so many things in this life that are perfect. And one may quickly just be passive and not even realize it. So, yeah, this is going to be a test stream. I'll just give it a few more minutes, probably 15 minutes total. We got a person in the chat. One came and left. That's okay. And even if there was nobody in the chat, that's fine. I'm just testing out sound. I'm going to have a guest on my next stream, and we're going to start a show that I'm sure you guys are going to love. And I think then his subscribers are going to come over and party on this channel. All different kinds of topics, maybe. But I'll have a topic related to relationships just because it's my channel. But if he wants to deviate from that a little bit, that's fine. So just letting you know. For those of you, again, who have the attention deficit, that's fine. We can jump to another topic. But I like to stay organized. So the next stream, I'll have plenty of pictures on screen to jump to. This one's just the only one that I have right now. And I'll do some closing music to see how that turns out. I do have fancy graphics, but that slows down the stream. And remember, I'm in Germany. I'm not in the US. I love the US because they have such high-speed internet. But you got to realize that in Europe, it's a different story. Living out in a village is it's a different story. You got to work with what you have. So I'll just leave it at that. So, anyhow, There's lots of skeptical people. I have to go over this as a good introduction because a lot of people ask me, lots of skeptical people, lots of sarcastic people out there who don't even believe in love. Well, let me tell you, we are products of love. Literally from two people having sex, like it or not. So tell me what's the meaning of life? I can't think of anything else except for the word love. Now, nobody's going to hold your hand and walk you through it. Unless you want to hold my hand, I'll walk you through it. But I had to figure out everything on my own pretty much. My parents weren't much of a help. They had their own conflicts, and that's how I know so much, is because I learned from other people's mistakes. I come from a family of 6 people. I'm the youngest, and I got to witness everybody trip and fall, get back up, and I have to say, I believe I'm the happiest one out of the bunch. I'll say that. Because to truly be happy, you have to know it, you have to feel it. It's not a competition. So that's another thing. You got to be selfless in the realm of love. Very giving, very passionate. But make sure you're with the right person. All right, Gravy, we got something here. I have a chapter about my beliefs of what love is to me. Yeah, I'd like to hear it if you want. I'm not sure if you can sum it up in the chat. That's interesting. Yeah, everybody has their own beliefs when it comes to love and, well, life and love. And I respect that. This is what freedom is all about. Myself as a veteran, and yes, I did deploy to Iraq and Afghanistan, but overall, just entering the army was very harsh. It's a rude welcoming. They just shave your head and say, now you're a soldier, you can't go anywhere, you belong to us. That's pretty much it. And you do as you're told. So I learned to value my life during my army experience, especially the 2 deployments that I was on. If you want to know more about that, I have a video, a mini documentary called The Soldier's Life. Feel free to watch that. But yeah, so juggling between veteran topics on this channel and relationship topics. Lately I've been doing more veteran topics, such as the First Amendment auditing and the other video that I had on stolen valor, which is really a sad topic because people out there just completely, that's where fraud is, acting like you have military experience when you don't. And just keep in mind that the number one telltale sign that somebody is faking their military experience is that they don't want to talk about it. Not everybody has PTSD, folks. PTSD is a disorder. I'd argue that everybody has post-traumatic stress for sure, from anything. It doesn't have to be military related. But post-traumatic stress you can live with. But an actual disorder, that requires medication and such. So not everybody has a disorder. Keep that in mind. Brandon Mitchell, thanks so much for stopping by. Should I drop it all on red or black? Well, red is my favorite color, Mitch. So drop it on red. I think you asked about the lotto last time. Yeah. I can't tell. I can't tell if you're gonna win the lotto or not. But yeah, drop it on red. All right. Oh, nice. Gravy is a veteran. That's awesome. It is disgraceful. Stolen valor is very disgraceful. It doesn't quite make my blood boil because it's more sad than... It doesn't make me angry. It just makes me sad. Like, I feel sorry for people who go along with stolen valor. I'm like, well, how do they sleep at night? How do they look at themselves in the mirror? It's terrible. I can't imagine being such a low life. It's misery. And, I do lend my hand out to help them if they want, but they're far too gone when it's that bad of a case of stolen valor. Let's see, Brandon, I was denied entry to the military. Oh. Well, hey, at least you applied. Brandon, kudos to you. It does take courage to make such a decision, and you decided yes, you were going to go in. They decided no. And here's a funny story. I have flat feet, and I also talk in my sleep. I don't think lately, but during the time, yes, and they're not allowed to let people in the army for those things. But during time of war, they didn't care. They were letting people with a criminal background into the army at the time, 2000, late 2006, early 2007. At that time. Oh, asthma, absolutely. You know, Brandon, it's interesting because in my contracting experience in Afghanistan, they were allowing people with sleep apnea, and they brought their machines and everything. I'm like, what is this? You're going to a combat zone. Sleep apnea machines, and so I bet they allowed people with asthma as long as they have their inhalers and such. But yeah, in the military, that's a no-go. I don't know if there's a cure for asthma. You know, latest Cobra Kai series, what's his name, grabbed the kid's asthma bottle and threw it up against the wall and says, not anymore, you have asthma. And so they didn't go over that part again. So I don't know if that's the cure, to just stop using the inhaler. I think that's kind of naive, but who knows? Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy. So whenever the military or contracting companies need you, they'll just toss you in there with whatever problem you have, as long as you're not completely psychotic and fighting people in the bays. As a contractor, you're pretty much a soldier, but you know, without making you do push-ups. Let's just put it that way. And you can just wear whatever you want, almost. But it was a fun experience. One of my favorite movies was Rambo 3 with the Mujahideen in Afghanistan. So I actually got to meet them in Afghanistan. So it was kind of fun because I watched the movie Rambo 3 on my laptop when I was there, and that was crazy. I was like, I never would have imagined where my life would take me. Maria Olivares, bienvenida. Wow, welcome. I'm 100%. Hopefully you are too. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's always a pleasure. Gravy, let's see, me in a nutshell is the title of my video on my channel. I'm gonna go check it out. Nice to see you guys here. Yes, this is really good. Like I said, this is the only picture I have. I could pull up another picture probably. Oh yeah, well, why not? Might as well show. Let's see here. There we go. So my book and what I used to call online course, now I call my movie, because that's what it really is. It's just on an online course website. So if you're not into QR codes, just look at my links on my main channel page. It's like on the very top. We used to have an about section on YouTube, but they took it away, which is crazy. So now you have to tap on more or 13 links at the top. Alright, let's go ahead and remove those. Yeah, it's a quick explanation. But yeah, and what I try to do on other people's channels is not tell them so much like buy my book, buy my movie, because some people get offended, which is really strange. I don't mind if you advertise on my channel. Good for you. You know, I wish you the best. You know, because we support each other, and we should support each other's professions as well. You know, careers. What do you guys do? But some people, they do get upset, and for no reason. I guess 'cause it's either out of jealousy or because they feel that you're doing it too much, which I'm like, no. For instance, I was on Eli's channel. He says, and also the Angry Vets channel. They say drop your links all the time, and that's what I do because they said so. So thank you. I really appreciate that. All right, Maria. I'm good. Thank you. I miss you on. Oh, Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn. Well, he never came back to me, Maria. What happened with Brooklyn was I was having a good time. All right, just a little disconnection there. We were perfect, but yeah, let me just repeat what I said. Yeah, I was on Brooklyn's live streams, but one of his moderators blocked me because they said I was spamming the chat when I wasn't. I was just saying, like, putting a few emojis up there. And then Brooklyn never came back to my channel or said anything in anybody else's channel, so I just assumed that, okay, I guess he doesn't miss me and I'm not wanted anymore. So I guess I was tossed underneath the bus, if you will. Hey, Tommy, welcome. That's a surprise. Welcome. Yeah, this is more of a test live stream, but if you guys have any questions, fire away. You guys are the show. Remember that. Unless I have something to present, and then you guys can be a part of it, obviously. But I'm always attentive of the chat because you guys are the most important part. I've had lots of live streams on previous YouTube channels, but trust me, the audience is the show. Many, unfortunately, many YouTubers forget that fact. Never forget about your fans. They are everything. So just fire away. What's on your guys' mind? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Like, what do you want to know the answers to? Any topic really. Of course, my specialty is relationships, but I don't mind if it's another topic. But yeah, Maria, that's about what happened with the whole Brooklyn, channel. I think he crashed and burned. He needs a break from YouTube. Brooklyn Teflon audits. He just needs to take a break. I mean, I have nothing against the guy. He doesn't miss me, obviously, on his channel because he would have said something, and that's that. No offense taken. What is it? No harm, no foul. Have you mentioned before? But what branch length MOS? Yeah, Tommy, if you watch my A Soldier's Life mini documentary on my channel, yes, lots of interesting stories. But I couldn't fit it all into that mini document. It would have been a large documentary, and I was trying to keep it as professional as possible. Yes, I have interesting stories that I tell everybody. One of the more famous ones is I actually tell it in my mini documentary about driving all kinds of vehicles. Yeah, that's my best memory from the army because I wasn't licensed to drive any of them, and the master sergeant needed drivers in the Yermo detail in California, I believe. It's in the middle of nowhere, pretty much. There's lots of sand and everything, and yeah, I didn't volunteer for the detail, but they needed somebody responsible, somebody old enough, and there's a lot of kids in the army at that time. Not kids, but they were for. I was like 27, so I think I was the oldest one in the bunch. So interesting stories. Well, oh yeah, here's the most. Well, I also mentioned it. I don't want to spoil it. Who here has watched The Soldier's Life on my channel? My first mini documentary. Who here has watched it? I don't want to spoil it for you. It's really worth the watch. Let's see if we get a vote in here. But those are like the highlights. Um, Not many other interesting stories. Those are like my main highlights, I would say. And I've been in all the helicopters from UH-1, a commercial version. I wanted to go in the military version, but it doesn't matter. It's just transport. Lots of helicopter transport in Afghanistan. Mostly planes in Iraq, though. Like C-17, not C-5s, but C-141, C-130, C-17s. That's a big one. It's not as big as a C-5, but it's big enough. All right, we got here Maria. Um. Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't like when his mods block people. He has a second channel. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if that gets settled out, I bet a lot of people are gonna be upset that I returned to him. But the thing is, he never came to me like, "Hey, where's Perfect Soulmates at?" Or you can call me Ben. He just never wondered where I went. So that was the confusing part. That's why I just made the conclusion that okay, this guy doesn't want anything to do with me anymore because he would have said something. But I don't know. Maybe he's stressed out, you know. And I didn't want to choose sides or anything because the whole Cass and Easy situation is a little too gangster in my opinion. I'm just like, man, can we just do without the fighting? Because it's a little too high school for me. I graduated college, 4-year degree. I don't know. It's like a maturity thing. Like, no offense. It's just my attention for such things. Like, imagine they were making literally 14-hour streams back and forth. It was Cass, not easy. He was kind of chill. It was Cass and Brooklyn back and forth, like, I don't know, 10 to 14-hour streams. I'm going to pull up at your place. You're going to pull up on mine. And it just got, okay, guys, are we going to do this? Are we going to go to a gym and fight it out? Classic style. And then it ended up where Cass actually pulled up to his place because Brooklyn literally doxed himself. It's all crazy. It really is crazy, but it's a lot of drama that it did get old really quick. I just didn't want anybody to fight because it's just ridiculous. Like, what are we fight? I mean, this is not a time to be fighting. The state of the world right now, we should be uniting, like what Eli says. And Eli does stop by my channel, but not lately. I think he has a lot on his plate. So maybe eventually he'll come back. But he literally did comment on a couple of my videos. So he really is the people's guy, I guess, because imagine how busy that guy is. So many people to tend to. Alright, let's see here. Alright, let's check out the comments. Alright, sweet. Alright, Gravy. Let's see Gravy. Homesteading as a disabled veteran. I'm torn between being close to medical care and wanting to be in the country. Living on the land. I can't trust my body to live my dream. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, well, just follow your heart, Gravy. That's all up to you. That's which place you prefer to live in, the decisions you make. Just make the best financial decisions you can. Um, don't be too compromising because right now you got to take care of number one, yourself, and hopefully there's some people to help you out. That's always good. Trust me, it's always good to have people to talk to and help you out, motivate you to make good decisions. Yeah, medical care and wanting to be in the country. Ooh. Well, I guess if it's something medical care that you can kind of sort of take care of on your own and maybe get checked up maybe once or twice a year, I would do it that way. Like, weigh it out. What are the benefits of being in the country versus being closer to medical? Absolutely. Kind of weigh it out. Of course, with your survival in mind, because you got to take care of yourself. Make sure you have everything you need. Yeah. Well, yeah. It just depends on what you're going through, what kind of injury. Um, I mean, you don't have to disclose it if you don't want to, but I would say depending on how severe the injury is, that would, in my opinion, if I was in your place, decide. That would be the decision maker. Do I need to be close to the? I mean, and is there also somewhere close to where you get your care? Is there also somewhere you can live peaceful that's like the country? Not exactly the country, maybe as close to it as possible. A new place where, if that's an option, closer to, like, the best of both worlds. But there's always a way, so don't lose hope. You can't embrace despair. You always got to look for the solution. There's got to be a solution. All right, but I think we still have Gravy in the chat. So, yeah. If it is Gravy, fire away. Right. Right, yeah, travel. And then also, the economy of it all. if you can afford traveling back and forth. And also, it's tiring, driving, depending on how many hours. Try to take it easy, and try to look for the best solution. Yeah, you just got to make things right, and then you can chill back and not have to worry about this situation. So many people living in stressful situations, and they wonder why they're not happy. It's because things need to be resolved, taken care of the best way possible, and ask for help if you need it. I mean, do not be shy, for goodness sake. There's no shame in asking people for help, whether it's friends or family, and not exactly strangers, but I mean, if it is an organization that doesn't charge much that can help you in some way, don't be afraid. Make the investment. Just don't get scammed, of course. Like the VA, I stay out of the VA unless it's an emergency, which is barely ever. I think it's once in the past 10 years or so. And that was it. That was because I had a lower back issue. It was like a severe case of sciatica from one of these odd jobs that I was on. But I fixed that. If anybody wants to know the cure for sciatica, here it is. If you watch this far, it's improve your lower body strength and flexibility. I can do the splits, because of my martial arts backgrounds, forward and front splits. I used to put my foot behind my head and that type of stuff, so knee flexibility and hip mobility. I used to hold my leg up straight up, just like Shaolin, my whole leg straight vertical. I could show you guys a picture later, but anyways, but that was, younger years. And so when you get heavier legs, you tend to avoid those movements, which is more wise. You don't want to keep doing those movements. It's really stressful for the ligaments and joints, tendons. All right, here we go. Back to gravy. I usually have 3 to 4 appointments per week. Oh, okay. Yeah, you do need to be close to medical then. My spine is jacked up. I have a YouTube channel. Did you get your spine fused? Because a lot of people say to avoid fusing your spine. Let's see here. I have a YouTube channel telling others my story, asking for help. Yeah, I'm going to definitely check out your YouTube channel, Gravy. I'll be there and make some comments and questions. Let's see, Maria. Oh, thank you. See, yeah, our service means nothing without your support. That's what it's all about. I believe in the people first. Your families first. When I served our country, I was serving my loved ones. And I say this in one of my latest videos. I actually state that. Okay. So you had your was it cervical 1 to 7, or you still have some mobility in your neck? Let's see, neck fused. Yeah. You're gonna be in a kind of a Batman situation. Remember part 1 where he was only turning his head and body in the same direction? That's kind of manageable. But the ones that oh, okay, 2 to 6. Okay, good. You have some mobility in 2 of them. Okay, that's something to work with. I can imagine. But as okay, so not the rest of the spine, like the lumbar and thoracic. Okay. And your thoracic and lumbar is not fused, right? No problems? Just the cervical? Yeah, because cervical vertebrae, I think it's a better situation, believe it or not. I know we turn our heads, especially when driving and such. But we can use mirrors, special mirrors for that. There's a better remedy, because lower, the lumbar vertebrae and the thoracic vertebrae, ouch, if you get those fused. Okay, lumbar 4 to lumbar 5, disc issues. Okay, issues can be helped. Look up, I don't know if you've looked up YouTube videos on how to help herniated discs. There's a lot of great little exercises there from real therapists. I'd recommend that. home therapy. And depending on your appointments, what exactly they do, research those procedures and see if other people find it just as beneficial or maybe not. Because I know it does cost a lot of money, but if it's all done by the VA, insurance wise, then that's great. Take advantage if that's the case. If you don't have to pay crazy money for the treatments, and only you can determine how effective those treatments are. Let's see, permanent nerve damage from a botched surgery while in the army. Oh, great. Yeah, they botch everything, don't they? The army. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that, but hopefully it wasn't too bad. Um, I guess it depends on what kind of botched surgery it was. Alright, I got an idea here, folks. I can actually change the picture, just so that nobody out there gets a little bored. Alright, here we go. Olivares. Yes, wishing gravy. Hopefully it'll be smooth as gravy soon. Some type of remedies for whatever's most painful. Alright, here we go. Oh, okay, it just doesn't quite show up, does it? Yeah, absolutely. Gravy. Always put in the work, put in the thought, and remain calm. Don't panic. There's always worse situations. I know that sounds bad. I try not to tell people that, but in your situation, yeah, thankfully, it seems like you're on the right path. It's not like seizures or blackouts where that's very dangerous. You need somebody by your side. But if it's dealing with the cervical issues and a bit of lumbar disc issues, yeah, you're still in a good position. If that's it, if that's all that's going on. If there's any other health issues, then yeah, I'm here to help out if I can. We live in a great age right now. It's a double-edged sword because on one hand the internet can help you, on the other hand it could probably make situations worse if you listen to the wrong people. So I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I like giving out advice. Take it or leave it. So that's fine legally because I'm not telling anybody to do something. Just consider doing something. So just a little word of advice for others who like to give advice. But yeah, definitely say something if you know something. All right, we got 4 in the chat. Who's the new people out there? I'm trying to replace this picture up here. Let me just see if I can do something here. All right, here we go. Let me give you guys a good picture. I didn't want to pull up. Here we go. This one's a fun one. I should put this one up here. Boom. Wow. Came out too big there. All right, let's go ahead and... There we go. Didn't quite fit in all this. All right, let's get back to gravy. Hopefully that picture shows up soon. I'd love to build a work farm for brothers and sisters. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you're depending on the rain. You got to do the rain dance. Who need help to getting back into society. Right. Living off the land, like you said. I lived in an RV. Nice, you got RV experience. That's very important, actually. A few years in the country, a friend's driveway. Yeah, if you can manage that RV lifestyle, if that's what you want, go for it. Absolutely. It's not for everybody. Because you got to clean everything. I mean everything, and it's a tough job sometimes. And I hope everybody pulls their weight. Yeah. Okay, we're good. So yeah, there's a cool picture here of me in Iraq goofing around at a gate guard duty. Let's make this a little bigger. Now the guy behind me, he's technically Turkish because he's from what do you call it? No, jeez. All right, yeah, thanks, Gravy. Let me see if I can get my thoughts here. Kurdish. He's Kurdish. So there's a part in northern Iraq where the Turks settled down in Iraq, and then they became known as the Kurdish. And they fight between the water and the dam and everything. There's a lot of political struggles with it. And then Turkey, they control the water from the north. And it was kind of a mess, but these guys, they're so happy, the Kurdish people. And this guy is part of the regular army. And there's some special forces members that I got to meet from the Kurdish forces as well. There you go, Kirkuk. Thank you, Gravy. It's been a while. That's the city of Kirkuk. Thank you so much. For those who want to be more precise, because okay, so in Iraq, I was stationed in Fob Sykes, which is northwestern Iraq. Further west is the Sinjar Mountains and the border to Syria, and there's a city called Sinjar. I didn't get to go out there, but my buddy did. And as an all-source intelligence analyst, you're a soldier first, so it doesn't matter. They send you outside the wire. You're not behind a keyboard, and you have to work with the human intel, the drones, UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles. You've heard them before: the Predator, the Warrior, Alpha. These are big drones. So we monitored. I gave them the coordinates during night shifts at one point because you either work day shift or night shifts, and give them coordinates to go search for anything in particular. Lots of times there were just meal. What do you call them? Meal trains. A bunch of meals. Carrots, liquor, or whatnot. Goods to and from Syria. Anyway, so I got stationed ultimately in a place called Badush, and then further, which is east, and then further east is a huge city called Mosul, and that's a place you didn't want to go because there was a lot of attacks over there. So this is the prison in Badush. We sometimes we got indirect fire from mortar attacks, but it wasn't anything to write home about. Well, you don't really want to write home anyways about it. Oh, 2009. Sweet. Yeah, Gravy. If you want to share your MOS or anything, that's cool. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Maria. That's because of my Taekwondo, karate, and Muay Thai background. Flexibility at 200 pounds, with really good body fat percentage. But I have these big floppy flat feet. That was my only challenge. But I moved really really fast, almost like lightning, I would say. But a lot of powerful. I had to balance bodybuilding with martial arts because if you do too much bodybuilding, you get slower with your kicks and punches and elbows and knees and twisting and pivoting and turning. 180 to 360 degrees, especially with jump kicks. Barely got some jump kicks out there. But you can't be just flying across the floor like Bruce Lee with that weight. It's not gonna happen. Um, but it was fun. In my martial arts background, I try to keep it up as much as possible. Oh, gymnast, cool, Gravy. That is very challenging. I admire gymnasts. They're wow, very talented. Let's see, Tommy. Mosul is a major city in northern Iraq, serving as the capital of the Nineveh province. City is considered the second largest city in Iraq in terms of population and area. Capital of Baghdad. Right, yeah, because south of us was Baghdad, which luckily I didn't have to mess with. And I think the Anwar province was to the west, where all the tanks accumulated in the beginning. Welcome, West Side Accountability. There we go. There we go. So welcome. Check out her channel and everybody else who's here as well. From Gravy, Tommy, Maria. West Side, I just met her. She's so chill. I mean, if you want to relax, go chill with her. I'm kind of on the passionate side, so I'm everywhere. But I try to stay as organized as I can. There you go, Baghdad 0708. That's so cool because I got in there from '08 to '09, my deployment to Iraq. So when you were leaving Baghdad, I was entering um, the Ninawa province over in Fob Sykes. that's that's quite something. That's wow. That's the way it is though. All right, let's move on to another photo here since the photos are working. Let's see if I can just swap this one out or have to create a new one. Um, yeah, sweet. Okay, so this one is one that a lot of people have seen already. Um, yeah, this is one that I use. Oh, Northwoods Press, welcome. Wow, such a surprise. Nice. Hey, thank you for your support. That's what it's all about. All right, that's what I love to see. Thank you guys for really making this stream colorful. I really appreciate it. Even if it's for a few minutes, I appreciate it. This is an impromptu stream, so there's no notes or anything. Usually I have notes and it goes really nice and smooth. Lots of photos to share, and I'll have a guest on the next stream for sure, whose name is David Finkel. He has a great channel. Go check him out. And hopefully he'll star on my show. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Really appreciate that. I guess I'm going to keep this stream up then because I thought it was just going to be a test stream. So I'll put some time stamps later to tell everybody when people show up because that's when the show starts. Besides the intro. So yeah, this photo here, I was the Iraqi police. I can show you guys in a picture of them, which I don't normally show. But ranks from colonel to captain to just enlisted. I grabbed the enlisted guys there, the police. They got their Glocks. And they let me, I think it's Glocks. They should be Glocks. I'm not really a pistol expert at all. So I borrowed them and I just wanted to do some poses. You can see on the left the walkie-talkie. You see the big block, the black block on my bulletproof vest. What is it called? The army word for it. I don't know. We just call it Kevlar, but I know there's a specific term for the whole vest. I mean, we have ACUs, which is Army Combat Uniform, but the terminology and the nomenclature starts to fade after a while. But not everything. Like your combat helmet, ACH, Army Combat Helmet. See, I start to remember that. I was in first cab, by the way. Now, you don't get to wear the patch on the right side unless you're deployed. So notice there's two patches, one on my left shoulder, one on the right. If you want to tell if somebody's deployed or not, look at their right shoulder. Do they have a patch there? If they don't, they've never been deployed. Not yet. If they do, you could have a different patch on that right shoulder because you got switched from unit to unit. Or, division to division or corps from corps. It depends what you measure it as. But we just say unit. But what we really mean is a whole corps or division change. You could go from third cav to first cav. I mean, not third brigade to first brigade. Or if you get stationed somewhere like in New York, all the way with North Mountain, I believe it's Mountain, then you can have a totally different patch on that right shoulder depending on who you deployed with. And the left patch, I guess that's who you just first started with. I don't know if that one changes. I wasn't in long enough. It was 4.5 years. Grueling years, mind you. So let's go ahead and move on. And that's a full combat load there. Hundreds of rounds of ammunition. So we call them magazines, not clips. And it's below the rifle there where I carry about 8 mags. I mean, you can total them up. About like 32 rounds per magazine. So full combat load is like, I don't know, 200 something. It's been a long time. You have your medical pouch, which is on the right. It's kind of hanging off there. It's a little annoying, but you have to have a first aid kit. But luckily they don't make you wear a ton of things like Batman, okay? Like, yeah, I mean, where does he pull out all those things, right? All those batarangs and special gadgets and smoke bombs and stuff, and how does he get them out so quickly? In the army, you just can't do that. And imagine nighttime missions when you see the black plate on the front of my helmet there. That's where you put your night vision goggles. Luckily, I never had to use them. Um, so night shift for me was indoors. Day shift was outdoors. Go figure. All right, so let's move on since we got some people here, some peeps. Oh, do we got North Mountain Girl here? Oh, we do. Wow, welcome North Mountain Girl. Yeah, there's no dub wubs here to spoil the occasion. So, no drunks, no crazies, like moderators like Hennessy or Hessenden, whatever her name is, who accuse you of bringing drama when you're not. You're just coming to say hello. Crazy times we live in, people, but let's go ahead and move on. So glad you guys are here. Here we go. Here's a cheery photo. Love sharing this one. Um, there we go. So this photo here, this guy came over into the gate and he's just bringing soccer balls. I'm like, what is this guy doing? And so I was like, nah, I gotta pose with this guy. See, I brought a camera with me, okay, guys? It was like an 8 megapixel stylus Verve. I'll never forget. I still have it with me. It's a little camera, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna be taking pictures. I don't care what they say about, well, technically you're not supposed to take pictures because you're deployed. As long as you don't film the base and then publish that online, you'll be fine. These are very zoomed in photos. It's perfectly okay. But but yeah, absolutely. This guy was so happy, and it was so refreshing to see somebody so happy come. You gotta know that out there, outside the gate, these people don't have roofs on their buildings. There's no rooftops. They're the poorest of the poor in Iraq, at least in this area. When you go to some city like Mosul, yeah, you'll see some roofs. You'll see some brick and mortar. But out here, people, this is nothing but, I think they call them adobe houses, just made out of, and then they carry their own fuel tanks. If they're lucky enough to have a truck or a car, most of these guys just walk on the side of the road to till the cows come home. They're just walking and walking, and it's very poor out there. This one police guy, I'll even show you here, and I didn't know, but here's a wild story. I think Gravy asked me for a wild story. Well, I'm going to show you one here. Here he is. Goodness gracious, is this a little bit wild? Maybe not so wild for a lot of people out there, but I'll try. Alright, so the guy on the left, I used to bring him snacks, and then my platoon said, hey, stop bringing that guy snacks. Look how big he is, right? But he would say, chips, cakes. He means chips and cake, something sweet. Well, this guy was so spoiled because people were bringing him snacks. And he came back one day, starting his shift, and with a headless bird. I said, what are you doing? The head was missing. It was a decapitated bird, a little bird. I said, what are you? And he says, like he's like making an eating gesture, like. And then so the other guy told me that he cooks birds and he eats them. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all don't have a grocery store, right? No, I mean, I'm not that naive. I knew they didn't have a grocery store, but something like a mercado, which is a market, something for you. Like, you gotta be kidding me. You guys are like plucking birds, but hey, you know what? We can't be hypocrites, because if we eat a turkey, that's a bird. We eat a chicken, it's a bird, right? Or a duck, if for people who like Chinese food. You know, so I was like, whatever, dude. You go eat your bird later on. He goes, he literally saved the bird, the headless bird, for later. Imagine that. That's one of the crazy stories. And I don't know what rank that other guy here is on my right side. I think it's he's not like a 2-star general. I think that's like a lieutenant rank or whatnot. You guys have to look up the Iraqi ranks. But I don't think I bothered to do so. I didn't have to. Things were already stressful enough, so. But I did take photos with them, and my captain was like, hey, good job. That's kind of like gathering intel. Yeah, I guess so. I just took it because I wanted to, though. All right, let's get another good one in here. All right, this one's an interesting one. This is a fun one. Let's see if we can just pull it up here. All right, here we go. The first time I got to hold, here we go, an AK-47. It was so exciting. I got to hold of AK-47 because, you play Call of Duty, whatever, sure. But when you actually hold one, like, I know people go to the gun range and they already held AK-47s and 74s and all this PKU, whatever. Look, guys, I get it. But for me, this is the only time I didn't go to the gun range. I didn't have weapons, okay, in the States. I never got a firearm. As a martial artist, I was like, I got my katana swords. That should be enough, but never bring a sword to a gunfight. Look, I get it. But this is the first time that I got to hold an AK-47. It was fun times. I switched with this guy, which you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to do this. But they're such friendly guys, so we always hung out with each other. This guy was a serious dude. He took his job seriously. Now, mind you, I don't think there's a prayer mat in the background, but you see the food on the floor there to the left bottom? These guys would bust out their little rugs that they brought with them because they're Muslim. They're Muslims. They worship Islam, right? So they would pray while we were guarding the gate, and also the loudspeakers would come on. They're all throughout the village and also on the prison because even the prisoners would pray. I think it's 7 times a day. So it was really crazy. It's like, wait a minute, we're guarding the gate. Where they could bring explosive devices on their belts, on their clothing, and here we are. No, it's prayer time. Okay, the Americans got it. we'll cover for you while you literally get down and worship, your God. So it was really interesting. So here we're just goofing off after prayer time. Everybody's chill. And notice the trigger control there. None of us ever put our fingers on the trigger, except for the Glock photo. I do have my hands on the trigger, but it was on safe. So, anyways, for those of the picky ones out there, first time I got to hold an AK, it was pretty cool. And I actually favor the AK. I'm an AK person, even though I never got to fire one. But in every movie that I've ever seen, and everybody who's fired them on YouTube, gun shows, come on, 7.62, and if you're accurate with it, and then it's durable. I know people they're never going to stop arguing about it. But if you want to talk about that, sure, but I'm not an expert. Let's continue on here. This is kind of a depressing photo, but I just want to go over it really quick. Because that's change you can believe in. Yes, you can. Reason I want to go over this photo here. Let's see here. There we go. Is because, guys, wake up. It doesn't matter who's in the presidential office. They're all puppets. I'm sorry to tell you that, but since when has America was supposed to be great again since what? Why did it all go south since the 2000s? There's no excuse. Now it's up to we, the people, like it or not. So I appreciate the First Amendment auditors going out there doing the dirty work. Because, look, we got dead soldiers from what? The war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, and even Operation Desert Fox, Desert Shield, Desert Storm. When does it end? It kind of sounds like conquering the world to me. And Europe has done the same thing with the European Union in 2000, which I was here for in Germany. Put the pieces together. I don't have to say much, but if you guys want to believe in the propaganda, which, by the way, Obama took down the Smith-Mundt Act, which means no propaganda to be used in the United States. Now propaganda is legally allowed to be used in the United States. Go look it up. This is not conspiracy. This is fact. Literally on the news, they could be lying through their teeth and they don't have to tell you about it because they're legally allowed to lie about anything. Anything. If you hear mass, you know what? If you hear terrorists, you know what? That's all I'm going to say about it because some people are too sensitive to the reality of our corrupted world. The whole world is corrupt. Go research it or stay a sheeple. Not to get into conspiracy theories, but it's literally published that they're trying to control the weather with spraying the skies too. Go figure. Let's move on to something a little bit more alegre, happy. Oh, goodness gracious. But people don't want to do research. That's the thing. You say, hey, go do your research. They don't know how to do the research. I'm sorry. I can't help you, man. I can't babysit you with the research. You got to learn how to research. And who do you trust? I can't babysit you. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. All right, so here is a late night in the Badoosh prison. There's an Iraqi flag. I said, you know what? I got to snap a shot of this. So my Iraqi police buddy took a shot of this. And this guy was crazy. Like, he wanted to hold my rifle and everything. And I was like, dude, I can't let you do that. The other guy I did but this guy was like a little unhinged. So you got to be careful, man. You know, you can't be foolish. You know, you got to pick who you want to trust. But that's why they say don't do that swift swapping stuff. Let's see, Maria. Let's see, guns. I'm a Second Amendment girl. Absolutely, Maria. You see, that's the thing, Maria. The world has given up their guns except for the U.S. That's it. That's all that's left. That's the only beacon of hope is the U.S. That's it, people. Stop and think about that. The whole world is with no guns, pretty much. They got hunting rifles, but I hope that's enough if you want to play Game of Thrones with your bow and arrows, too. Just good luck with that. Let's see here. Reading headlines doesn't count as research. Thank you, Gravy. Thank you. At least it's somewhat kind of helping, you know, to know a little bit. But if you see Israel versus Palestine, just know that there's so much corruption. You're not getting the full story because you're not a billionaire. You're not part of the members club, the mafia. You know, they even told you in James Bond with the octopus, you know, that controls the whole world. That's what it is. They're telling you truth in plain sight. It's Duper's delight too, right? So, all right, let's go ahead. So, yeah, that was a nice night right there. Where it was just in a machine gun there. I forgot. It's like an AK model, but nobody was using it, so I just wanted to pose with it. Fun times, right? I mean, why not? It's a once in a lifetime chance. So, if everything's pretty much chill, then you're good to go. I don't see why not. Let's go ahead and see if there's another interesting story here. Oh yeah, the special forces dudes. Here we go. Yeah. It's a pleasure to show this one. These guys, if you want to know the definition of badass, these guys, oh my goodness. I mean, talk about physical capabilities. They're far fitter than I was in the army. These guys, wow. So they're again Kurdish special forces guys, and they would these are the badasses out there. So yeah, I don't know why they sent us out there. We're pretty much the backup, the heavy ones. You know, not you know the big vehicles, the large brigades. You know, just send in special forces, like I said in one of my videos. Oh yeah, with my video called let's see what it's called. It starts with one. Yeah, my video, it starts with one. It's like a mini documentary. It's in the documentary playlist. But what I mean by that, what I said in that video was just send special forces, the CIA, and even the FBI goes out there. You know, that's who in the end does all the work anyways. Special forces. The army's just there for backup and supply, logistics, and you know, transportation, all that stuff. It's just, I mean, we're not there to really. I mean, you know, it's all. That's why the army has special forces too. But that's who ultimately gets the bad guys. If you guys want to know that, I'm still kind of questioning who the bad guys are, but that's another story. So making it out, you know, coming back home is. Yeah, here's the all-time favorite photo. One of my faves. Alright, here we go. So that's where I extracted my famous photo there. And these guys are so chill. They do smoke, so I don't smoke. I don't drink either. But yeah, so trigger control, posing, strike a pose, why not? My camera, why not? And to the left, there is an MRAP. It's MRAP, Mine Resistant Ambush Protected Vehicle. They're super heavy. I think you got your gunner on top, if I can remember correctly, and it's mainly just a very comfortable vehicle to transport in compared to tracked vehicles like the Bradleys. They're very claustrophobic, and you got to stuff a bunch of soldiers in there. They call them infantry fighting vehicles, but yeah, oh man, it's like not as bad as being in a M1A2 tank, where that's real claustrophobic times, and I got to drive them like with their little periscope driving a steering wheel. But yeah, talk about huge vehicles. They had to add extra armor on the bottom of the vehicles because they were getting blown up from from the IEDs, which is improvised explosive devices, or EFPs, which are concentrated explosive devices. Like they actually pierce the armor, and it's really horrific stories about that. The EFPs, that was my main concern. The IEDs, yeah, sure. And there's also universal bulk explosives, which is UBE, I believe, and that's just a bunch of TNT or anything explosive, and yeah, blowing soldiers up. It's like playing What is it? Not Minecraft. That Minesweeper game that comes with all your Windows programs. So not fun times. Oh, okay, Gravy, a mechanic. Nice. I was in charge of 4 MRAPs and 4 Hummers. Yeah, Humvees. Very nice. FedEx, SWAT, telecom could have done 90%. FedEx? Let's see. Delta Force, Kurds Edition. Yeah, Kurds Edition, exactly. Ah, nice. Let's see. I have a bow and arrow too, just in case I run out of. Nice. Yeah, there you go, Maria. You gotta be combat ready. Yeah, route clearance. Yeah. Hey, good. You guys are all armed up. Experience too. That does it. Let's see here. All right, let's see if I got one or two more photos here. I got quite a few. Got quite a few. But interesting ones, yeah. Well, why not? This one's okay. So here I am in a Humvee. Let's see here. But interesting ones, yeah. All right. Well, why not? This one's okay. Yeah. So really exhausting driving on the roads of Iraq, and you have your comms. I don't think I have my comms on right there. It's like your headset where you talk to, because it's kind of loud in there and bumpy, and it's just Humvees. I love it that they're diesel. They run off a diesel. I never drove a diesel, believe it or not, until I drove the Humvee, and I just stayed quiet about it. I'm like, dude, I love diesel. You could just leave them on forever, by the way, and like I don't know, they just never seem to run out of gas. It's so fun. Anyways, so the gunner's up top behind me in the center, and just swiveling around, checking the perimeter. Especially when we stopped at, because these are intel-driven missions, so I have to stay in the Humvee because unless I had to go with them, but very rarely I had to go with them inside the buildings because somebody's got to be in that vehicle ready to book it to get out if necessary. So they have to be running at all times. I think the police do that too. In the country, they keep their. That's why they keep their. You'll see them in the parking lot. The police cars always on, and people are like, "Hey, aren't you wasting gas?" But I think they need one on, in case they have to, go out. But I don't know. That's debatable. But when you're in a war zone, yes, you need that. So just think about that when you see this, and you have to keep each other awake because I'll tell you, the heat will put you to sleep. You have all that armor on, you're tired, you're always thirsty and hungry, but sometimes you're just it's real tough. You can't pay me any money to go back and do it again, okay, guys? I don't care if it's $1 billion. It's a once in a lifetime experience. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I'm done. Thank you very much, but no thanks. I don't think I would do it all over again. Let's see here if there's any others. Oh yeah, one of my favorites. Here we go. So this was a kid that was crying, and so I picked her up, and she stopped crying. And really cool time. She came into the prison too. Somebody's daughter, I believe, who was in prison. So the wife brought her by, and yeah, this is really, really good photo here because in the end, guys, like we're not supposed to be fighting wars. I like this photo because it's all about the next generations. Like, what are we going to tell them? That we learned nothing, that we're still killing each other, that we're still playing this like stupid game of killing each other. We can't resolve our own problems, through dialect. And I mean, what do we tell the next generation? So this photo says a lot. It's sad because we were once kids too, and here we are, same reality. So, but yeah, peaceful time, little bit of a breather, if you will. And yeah, let's see if I can put up this one. So yeah, a little bit of a collection of photos, and I've shown some people this, on live streams, but I don't think people are really paying attention. So here I'm messing around with, I believe it's a SAW, SAW squad automatic weapon, and I couldn't imagine maintaining this weapon. But the guy who had it, like there's the grip at the top, carrying around that thing and maintaining it clean, and then it's just such compared to just a simple M4 rifle. I can't imagine maintaining that sucker clean, but I maybe it's a lot of fun. Who knows? Imagine you're the guy with the machine gun. I mean, fun times, right? And so yeah, I just wanted to pose with it because he came out for the guard detail. Why not? Like I said, once in a lifetime. And my vest is a little bit messed up there because I had to get to the gate very fast, impromptu. Like they just woke me up and said, "Hey, other guy's not feeling good. Get your butt out there." I got my butt out there, so that's why it's messed up in the back. But I fixed it later. You gotta have your vest nice and strapped up. So yeah, the weapon, right? Yeah, just look up the SAW squad automatic weapon, and I'm sure you'll have a good time if you guys can find the equivalent over there. Absolutely. Alright, I don't think I have the one where... Oh, yeah, I do. Here we go. Here's a very special one for a good closer. Alright, this one I love in particular because this is before I deployed. I was on a detail welcoming back soldiers from 1st Cav. This is in Fort Hood, back from Iraq. So you got the guys dressed up there, cavalry uniform in the center and the main emblem. I can't imagine leading that. I would be so nervous that I had to lead that. But no, I just had to turn around and salute them and welcome them home. And big ceremony, many hours because you got to help out with whatever there. But let's see if I can get a good photo that I benefited from there. I got to meet a brigadier general who signed off a letter of recommendation for all that hard work for OCS, Officer Candidate School. But I got hurt and I got out, so that was in my A Soldier's Life documentary. Be sure to watch that. You'll get to know about all that nitty gritty. Here we go. I'll show you a picture of when I shook hands with Brigadier General at the time, Rudesheim. I bet he's like a lieutenant colonel by now. I mean, lieutenant general, my bad. Look at the star on his Stetson. So there I am, like totally just look at so shy. So shy. I just wanted to shake hands with this guy. Everybody's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, he's a guy just like us. And even when I deployed as a contractor to Afghanistan, I got to meet a German general, lieutenant general, and everybody was like, "What? You speak some German?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I speak some German." And he was surprised. And it doesn't take guts. Just speak to these guys. They don't want to be treated like holier than thou 24/7. They want to be spoken to like regular people. So he gave me this awesome coin. This guy, 2 coins actually, because before I left, he gave me another coin because I wanted to say goodbye to him and wish him well because he was going to another base. But yeah, there I am, Brigadier General. It was a pleasure, and I got to work with full bird colonels, captains, majors, really fun guys for the most part. I never met somebody who was stuck up, you know. Um, they were responsible, good fellows. The enlisted ranks is where you meet the bad apples. Sorry, but for me, you know, maybe lieutenants, first and second lieutenants, also bad apples. I gotta throw that in there. Um, Captain, they're satisfied, their egos are in check, so captain and above, generally you won't find bad apples, but you know, it's still possible. So that was one of my highlights right there. I gotta say, it was a pleasure. Letter of recommendation, good stuff. He helped me out quite a bit, and I had to do my packet in Iraq before I got back, and I also had to get a higher ASVAB score, which I did that before deploying. And maybe next time I can go over my contracting experience. But once again, just watch The Soldier's Life. It's my mini documentary. I'm so proud of my army experience and contracting experience and expertise in relationships. I really do consider myself an expert in relationships. I'm serious. Ask me anything, test me, read my book, watch my movie, ask me anything. I expect skepticism and sarcasm. I expect it because it's a really harsh and chaotic world out there. So don't be shy. Throw some comments at me, questions, and yeah, I'll be sure to address them. So thank you so much. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I think I called out everybody's name. You guys are the show. Without you, there is no show. So thank you so much. And we'll just conclude it there until next stream. Maybe I can stream tomorrow. Maybe I can do a daily 30-minute stream. Keep it short, nice and sweet. And depending on how many people show up. So I appreciate you guys all. Alrighty, till the next one. Thanks, guys.